Hello, everybody. I'll give you all a sec to connect to your audio, and then we're going to get started. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for coming along tonight. We are expecting a few people, and they're just coming through my waiting room now. Sophie, I'm just going to make you co-host, if that's okay. If you can just hit the admit button if you see anyone sitting in the waiting room, that'd be fabulous. So thank you so much for coming to join us tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chelsea McGill. I'm a Thermomix consultant and team leader. I'm team leader of the Therminators, and tonight we are running an open virtual cooking experience. So these are just a great way for you guys to jump on and learn a little bit more, some tips and tricks if you do already own a Thermomix, and if you don't, a really great way to see the Thermomix in action. We are going to do a little bit of talking tonight, and then we're going to do a lot of cooking. So aim is to have you off within the hour, and we are going to make flour tortillas, beef fajitas, and also caramilk lava cake. So a couple of different things to show you guys just how amazing the Thermomix is. If you do have any questions at any stage tonight, please pop them in the chat box for us so we can answer those for you. We do ask that you guys stay on mute, just because when there's a few of us on, it can get a little bit crazy if people come off mute, but please use that chat box. Or if you are talking to your consultant, please use the chat box with your consultant as well. So we're going to jump straight into things with our flip chart. So welcome again, and thank you so much for coming. I'd love if you could pop in the chat box and let me know if you do own a Thermomix, which model do you own? If you don't yet own one, pop that in as well. And let us know what got you interested in coming along tonight. Awesome. I'm seeing some comments come through now. Fabulous. All right, so keep those comments coming in the chat box, guys, and I'm going to keep moving. So over here we have our TM6. So this is our latest model Thermomix. This one has been around for about 3 years now. Now, it truly is our greatest Thermomix yet. So this Thermomix has the ability to connect up to your Wi-Fi. And through your Wi-Fi, you can access our recipe platform Cookie by swiping across here today. And you can see the latest recipes. You can see our most cooked. So I really like clicking down to this most cooked. This one changes every few days based on what people all around Australia are currently making in their Thermomix. So our most thing at the moment is pretzels, which is interesting, some overnight oats, and our amazing yogurt. When we swipe across to our middle or our home is where you can do some manual cooking, which means you can cook anything that you like without following one of our guided cooking recipes. And then when you swipe again, you can get into our functions. So we have over 20 different modes and functions in our Thermomix, and quite a lot of them can be accessed here, and we will talk more about those tonight. So I would love to know, just helping us get to know you guys a little bit better. So when it comes to food and cooking in general in your life at the moment, what is most important to you? We have healthy, simple, fast, creative, or saving money. Pop them in the chat box below or with your consultant and help us get to know you guys a little bit better. Awesome. Fabulous. Keep those answers coming in, guys. Now, the price of our TM6 is $2,359, and it does include all of our amazing accessories that you see here today. Now, we have our Varoma, which is our steaming attachment. Now, our Varoma is an amazing attachment. It is so versatile, and you can do so many different things in it. We're not going to use that one tonight, but it is something that I really do love. You can do things like, meatloaf and corned beef, things that can be quite dry in the oven, can be amazing in your Varoma. Meat and veggies, fish and veggies. You can even do desserts like puddings, and you can even make breads and stuff in there, which is really cool. Simmering basket, splash guard, butterfly whisk, measuring cup, spatula, and a hard copy of our basic cookbook. That is all included with your purchase. We do have a couple of gift with purchases today as well. One of them is ending tonight, and that is our oval thermo server, which we'll talk about in a little bit because you are going to see me use that tonight. Or you do also have the choice of a $75 Mix Shop gift card with your TM6 purchase at the moment. So that thermo server is ending at midnight tonight, and that gift card will be running for the next month. So if you are interested in getting a TM6, you do have that option ending tonight, which is really great as well. And you can have a chat to your consultant about that. Now, we do have lots of different payment options to help you get a Thermomix on your bench. And my favorite is that you can actually do what we do, and you can join our amazing team and you can earn yourself a Thermomix or a second Thermomix for those of you that already might have one. The other thing that we do have at the moment on that topic is our half-price business kit. So if you have been thinking about coming on board and joining us, doing what we do with your current thermo, or when you're earning yourself one, if you do decide to come on board tonight, you can get your business kit for just half price, which is $62 to start up your Thermomix business, which is really cool. So then we have our interest-free finance, which is just $24.56 a week for 24 months. So that's about $3.50 a day or less than a cup of coffee, which is pretty crazy when you break it down and think about it like that. Put in the chat box and let us know, are you somebody that buys takeaway coffee at the moment? Love knowing these things. Awesome, got some great answers coming through there. Saving money, healthy, fast, all of the above, and saving money. I think saving money is really important to a lot of us right now, more than ever. All right, so we are going to move into cooking and do a little bit more talking afterwards. So we're going to head back over to our Thermomix. I'm going to click on my three little lines in the top left corner and then into my weekly planner. So when I head into my weekly planner, you can see the things that we are making in our Thermomix tonight. So we've got our lemon and white chocolate lava cakes, which I'm actually going to make with caramilk. In our house tonight, we had a risotto with broccoli rabe. We've got our beef fajitas. We've got our flour tortillas. I'm going to click on our first recipe here, which is our flour tortillas. And now this is what we call our guided cooking. So your guided cooking is one of the things that really sets the Thermomix apart from any other cooking appliance out there. So we have our recipe on our screen. We can scroll our finger down, see our difficulty, prep, total, and portions. Got our ingredients, all of our steps, nutritional value, and utensils, hints, and tips as well. Now, when I hit the start cooking button, it's actually going to walk me step by step through this recipe. So we've got our inbuilt scales, which is one of our modes that we're going to be talking about tonight. So we've got 500 grams of baker's flour here. So if we just pop, oh, I'm a very messy cook and I'm very good at throwing flour everywhere. Ignore that. And I'm going to put my 500 grams of baker's flour in. Hit that next button. I'm going to go in with a teaspoon of salt. No, I'm not much of a measurer. I'm a bit of a pour it in, she'll be right kind of cook. Teaspoon of baking powder. Then measuring cup into our lid on, and we've got 10 seconds, and it's asking us to turn our speed selector around to 3. So we've got a little line there. You can just turn that around, and our speed selector will actually stop at the correct speed. So I can turn that as hard as I like, and it will cut off at 3, which is where it's meant to be, which is very handy. So we hit our next button. I'm just going to dust off that bit of flour that I spilled everywhere. Just going to tear my scales because I did take my lid off. We've just mixed all those ingredients, and we're going to go in with 80 grams of light olive oil. I've just grabbed the wrong oil. Sorry, guys. I'll just swap it. It is really important that you use light olive oil instead of full strength olive oil, or you could use something like grapeseed oil, just because full strength olive oil, I went a few grams over there, but that's okay. Full strength olive oil is really, really strong in flavour, and it will leave not a very nice flavour with these. So 250 grams of warm water. Lid on. And now we've got 2 minutes on our timer and turn our speed selector to start. So this is our dough mode. So there's no speed on this one. We're just entering our mode here. So I turn my dial like that, and that starts our kneading function. Now, for those of you that already have a Thermomix, tell me, are you using your kneading function? And if you are, what kind of things are you making in your Thermomix with that kneading function at the moment? Pop it in the chat and let us all know. Now, for those of you that don't have a Thermomix, tell me, if you did have a Thermomix on your bench, Can you think of something that you would like to use that kneading function for? Is there anything that you could think that you're buying at the moment that you'd like to make, or anything that you'd like to try if you did have a Thermomix on your bench? Rolls and pizza dough. We've got another one for pizza dough there, which is great. Pizza dough, bao buns, breads, and bagels. Amazing. Bao buns and bagels aren't something that I would really buy, but they are something that I absolutely love making for my family. So there are so many incredible things that you can make. Keep those comments coming through, guys. What do you love to use your kneading function for? If you have a thermo, and if you don't, what would you like to use it for? Awesome. So with your kneading function, 2 minutes of kneading in your Thermomix is the equivalent of 20 minutes of kneading by hand. So I personally would not spend 20 minutes kneading something by hand, but I do love that it only takes 2 minutes in my thermo. Now you can pretty much make any dough that you can think of, any of those beautiful things you can buy at Baker's Delight, in your local bakery, whatever it is, you can make for an absolute fraction of the cost in your Thermomix. So I know cheese and bacon rolls and cheese and Vegemite rolls are a great example for us in our household. I know a few of you said saving money was really important to you, and that's a really great place to start. So we save a huge amount of money by making our own rolls and cheese and bacon rolls. You can make a dozen for around that $4 to $5 mark, depending on your toppings. If you were to be buying them from Baker's Delight, you're paying about $3.50 per scroll or roll there, which is pretty crazy. Now 2 minutes of kneading, and look at that. Beautiful. So we're just going to flip around. I hope I don't make you guys seasick over here, moving you around the kitchen, get a tour of my house while we're at it. I'm just going to flip my bowl upside down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist my blades backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. It came out really nicely tonight until that dough comes out. And that has released all of that dough. Now, if you found there was still quite a bit of dough on your blades, you could pop it back on your thermo, swipe over to your modes and hit turbo. That's going to flick those blades really hard and fast and flick any of that dough off. You can do that trick with cake mix or any doughs or mixtures at all sources, which is really great. Now, this is our silicone bread mat. This is one of our awesome host rewards. So thank you to those of you that brought some friends along tonight. This is one of our options of our host rewards. These are perfect for proving dough, shaping dough, working with dough, whatever it is. So I'm just going to wrap my dough up in this for about 15 minutes to let it rest, and then we will come back and talk about that in a little bit. Sorry again. So transfer onto silicone bread mat or floured work surface and shape into a ball. Wrap dough in silicone bread mat or place into a bowl and cover with kitchen towel. Leave to rest at room temp for 15 minutes. Now, our guided cooking walks us step by step through this recipe. So it will walk us through, once that we've rested it, divide dough into 16 portions and roll out into circles approximately 25 centimeters. Dusting with flour if needed. Place a large heavy base fry pan over a medium heat. Place one tortilla into fry pan and fry for approximately 1 minute until bubbles and starts to form. Turn tortillas over and fry for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Transfer into a thermal serving bowl. Repeat and serve warm. Now we will cook some of those on the stove in a few minutes once that has rested, but we are going to move straight into our lava cakes. Does anybody have any questions for me yet about the tortillas, about the dough mode, about anything Thermomix related? Pop it in the chat and let me know. I love when you guys interact. I feel like I'm not just talking to myself all night. So I'm going to go back into my weekly planner. Now you might have noticed I just grabbed out a clean bowl. Having 2 bowls is very, very handy. One of the good things about that $75 mix shop voucher that we do have on offer, if you purchase a TM6 in the next month, you can pop that towards a second bowl to help bring down the cost of that as well. Now, if you do host a delivery cooking experience after you purchase your Thermomix, you can also get a 20% mix shop voucher. So if you put your $75 mix shop voucher and your 20% discount code together, you can bring your bowl down to about $220, which is a huge saving. So our lemon and white chocolate lava cakes, here you go. Again, scroll down, check it all out. This is one of those ones you probably want to skip the nutritional value of. No one needs that negativity in their life. Now hit the start cooking button. We're going to preheat our oven to 220. And we are going to start off with our recipe. Now, this recipe wants icing sugar. I don't buy icing sugar because icing sugar is quite expensive compared to other sugars, your pure icing sugar. So icing sugar is just made of regular sugar. So you could use raw sugar or white sugar. And I do have some white sugar here. I'm just going to hit my home button. Now I've got 130 grams in there. So I'm going to pop in, put my lid on, and I am going to go around to speed 10. Does anybody know what I'm doing here with my sugar? Pop it in the chat and let me know if you know what's happening in our Thermomix over here. You can see a bit of like smoke coming out of the top. That's been going for about 15 seconds. And no, our Thermomix is not on fire. Don't panic. So take that lid off. And we have just turned our white sugar, or this works with raw sugar as well, into pure icing sugar. So the price difference here, and we've been talking about saving money, you're looking at about $4 for 500 grams for icing sugar. You can buy a kilo of raw sugar or white sugar for about $1. So that is a massive money saver there. Also, not having to have all your different kinds of sugar in the pantry is really nice. I'm just going to pop that to the side for a minute. I misplaced my spatula. Let me just scrape that out of my bowl. Always amazes me, that one. Like, how do they justify charging so much more for icing sugar? And it's just milled down sugar. Look at that. So nice. I'm not going to wash my bowl because I am just going to add sugar into it for our recipe. But I am going to hit my little green bookmark and head back into our recipe. I'm going to go in with 100 grams of unsalted butter, which I've just cut into some squares. And then 230 grams of white chocolate broken into pieces. Now I am using caramilk, which I've just roughly broken up there. Now we're going to put our lid on. And instead of using our measuring cup, it does want us to pop our simmering basket on top. So our measuring cup comes out and our simmering basket sits on top. Now you will notice this in quite a few recipes. It's just a way to let some extra steam out. Hit that next button, and then we've got 5 minutes on our timer. We've got 100 degrees and around to speed 1. Now that is going to melt down that chocolate. Is anybody melting chocolate at home at the moment? Does anyone do any baking with chocolate or anything like that? Pop it in the chat and let me know if you do. Mez and Maria have both just said having a second bowl is the best. I couldn't agree with more. Let me know in the comments if you are melting chocolate at home, if you do it on the stove or if you do it in your thermo. Melting chocolate was always one of those things I really struggled to do before having a Thermomix. I found I used to burn it in the microwave, or I could never get it to melt properly. I do love how easy it is in our Thermomix. Maria just does it in her thermo now, which is great. While that is melting away over there, I'm just going to move back over to our flip chart, which we're going to continue through. So I did mention that our Thermomix has over 20 different modes and functions in it. Now, we are going to see quite a few of them tonight, but we're not going to see all of them. But some of my favorites that we aren't going to see tonight are our mincing function. So you can actually mince meat in your Thermomix. So you can mince 500 grams of meat in your thermo in just 10 seconds, which is crazy. Now, I know saving money was important to quite a lot of you, and that is another great way to save money. Chicken breast is about $10 a kilo, and you're looking at about $9 for 500 grams of chicken minced in the supermarket. Now, I also always wonder what kind of the chicken, which parts of the chicken they mince when they sell you chicken mince. I love that I can mince my own chicken breast and save money and know exactly what's in it as well, which is awesome. You can also mince red meats too, anything like that does work. Now, our steaming function, I did mention our Varoma earlier, which we're not going to be using tonight, but our Varoma is such a fabulous accessory to have as well. So with that steam cooking, it is a very healthy way to cook. And also you can cook, as you see in this picture here, with our layered cooking. So we can have multiple different things cooking in our Thermomix at the same time, which saves you time, it saves you effort as well, and it saves you a lot of mess when you've got 6 different things cooking on the stove, boiling over everywhere, which is really great. Now our caramelized function, so you are going to get to see our high heat mode tonight when we cook our beef fajitas, but the caramelized function works on both ends of the scale. We'll talk about it for like your main dishes later when we're using it, but you can also use it for your desserts. So you can do some really great sugar work. It could be really hard to do on the stove that needs, say, a candy thermometer, so things like toffee apples, caramels, caramel sauces, honeycomb, all that really cool stuff. For those of you that have a Thermomix, have you used your high heat or your caramelized mode for anything? If you have, pop it in the chat. Belinda's just said she's always burnt it in the microwave when she's melting chocolate. I agree. And it says, I'm really bad at desserts or sweets, so I'm enjoying the new recipes I find. I make muffins every second day now. That's fabulous, Nez. I love hearing that. She made cordon bleu by mincing my own chicken, which is fabulous. Really great thing to do, mincing your own chicken in your thermo. Now I have got our little dariole molds out to cook in tonight, which I will show you in just a sec. I just need to grab a tray out. Of course, I can only find my giant tray. I've got these little dariole molds, which are just from the mix shop. You get a little set of 8 of these, and they are perfect for lots of different things like desserts, little fun things like that, little puddings. There are some really great main dishes that you can do using these as well. Get yourself a set of these for I think about $15 from the mix shop. We are going to use those tonight. Our chocolate has nearly finished melting. That's fabulous. I'm going to switch back my camera. Maria's just said, using the high heat a lot, wish you didn't have to be guided only. Maria, have you, I know it does have to be guided because it is a safety function. Have you searched up high heat on CookieDoo and seen all the kind of like the basics that you can do so you can add into recipes or that kind of stuff? If you pop high heat into your CookieDoo, it will come up with quite a lot of really basic recipes like different meats and veggies and stuff like that you can use that high heat mode for, which is really handy. Right, so we have, look at that, perfectly melted our chocolate and our butter there, hands-free, no hassle, no burning. We're going to go back in with that icing sugar. That is flour, not icing sugar. This is my icing sugar that I just milled down. 3 eggs, which I have pre-cracked because no one needs to watch me crack eggs. 3 egg yolks. So our egg yolks are really going to help make this a very decadent dish. I had a donut today from Daniel's Donuts, and I may have bought a 6-pack. I really don't need to be eating lava cakes tonight, but I'm definitely going to eat one because these are so delicious. Has anyone made this recipe before? I'd ask for a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. So I'm just using vanilla essence. I do make vanilla bean paste in my thermo, but I have run out and I haven't made it recently, so I'll just use vanilla essence. Now, once a lemon zested, I'm going to skip that because I'm doing caramilk instead of the white chocolate and lemon. A measuring cup on. We've got 10 seconds on our timer and around to speed 3. For those of you that either own a Thermomix or don't own a Thermomix, are you bakers? Do you love to make desserts or anything like that? Pop it in the chat and let me know. Or do you like to eat dessert? Pop that in the chat and let me know as well. Let's just whiz that round. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. We're going to add in 80 grams of plain flour. There's not much flour in this recipe. Pinch of salt. Measuring cup into lid and 5 seconds and around to speed 3. Let's says for a long time if necessary until just combined. So we'll have a look and see how that is looking. We will go back and do that one again. That hasn't mixed properly. For another 5 seconds. So you've got that back button there, which you can use just to hit back. All right. A little stir around. I'm just going to go one more time. Quite a sticky mixture, this one. I'm going to go just an extra second or two until it's just combined. Now you can take the measuring cup off and have a little look. Make sure that's looking good. All right, so divide our batter between our prepared dairy molds. Now I'm just going to fill 2 tonight. There's mixture. Because if we make all 8, I will definitely eat all 8 tonight and I'll be very sick. So I'm just going to make 2 tonight and I will keep this mixture in the fridge and then I will make the rest tomorrow night for my family. So I'm just going to, hope you can see me there. Pour into 2 of my molds. It says they should be almost full. Again, I'm making a mess as usual. Just going to move that to the side, and there we have a lava cake. Now I'm going to, so they want to be baked for about 12 minutes. So I'm going to put them in the oven in just a few, but not quite yet. I do just want to get our main going and then we'll get them into our oven. So bake for 12 minutes at 220 degrees, cool in molds for a maximum of 2 minutes. Now the thing with lava cakes, it's all about the timing. If you let them sit for too long, they will go firm and they won't have that lava-like inside. So we definitely want to serve them pretty much immediately. Carefully unmold onto serving plates and serve immediately with fresh blueberries and creme fraiche or ice cream, whatever suits you. Now I'm just going to wash my bowl quickly and then I will be back and we will get our fajitas going. If you have any questions at all, keep them coming in the chat box, guys. Got a few comments coming through. I never did like baking, but it's much easier with the thermo. Definitely easier with the thermo. Everything's easier with the thermo. All right, so give my bowl a bit of a clean. We're going to head back into our weekly planner and on to our fajitas. Do we love Mexican? Put in the chat and let me know if Mexican is something that you eat in our house. But a Mexican loving household. My children would eat Mexican every day of the week if they're allowed, and I would also do the same. Love Mexican. So we hit the start cooking button, and this recipe is going to start by grating up some cheese. So it wants cheddar. I just use Tasty because that's what I tend to buy. So I want you guys to remember this is guided cooking. It's not set in stone, so you can make changes to suit you. So it wants 200 grams of cheddar cut into, or Tasty, cut into 3 to 4 pieces, 3 to 4 centimeter pieces. So just like that. 200 grams there. Hit that next button, pop our lid on, and then we've got 3 seconds on our timer, and we're going to go around to speed 7. So this is going to be a little bit loud because we're using that full power behind our thermo, so you may not be able to hear me for just a sec. I did just add 1 extra second on there because I do like to make sure that it is grated up nicely. And there we have, in just 4 seconds, we have grated 200 grams of cheese. Now, I know saving money was important to quite a lot of you. So this is a really great way to save money with your Thermomix. Grated cheese is double the price of a block of cheese. So a block of cheese is going to set you back about $9. A kilo of bagged grated, is going to set you back about $18. So huge money saver there. I honestly think the grated in the Thermo tastes better. You don't have that, making a mess again. You don't have that weird powder all over it, the anti-caking agent. So you get that full flavor of the cheese, which is great. It is also better for you because you don't have those anti-caking agents and nasties that they add in. Is anybody grating cheese in their Thermo at the moment, for those of you that do have a Thermomix? Or do you think for those of you that don't, if you did have a Thermo, you would like to grate cheese in it? Or can you think of anything else that you'd like to grate? Pop it in the chat and let me know. Just going to give my bowl a really quick rinse. Now, a lot of the time I wouldn't wash my bowl after grating cheese. It can just add flavor to your meal, but because we're going to use the high heat mode, I don't want melted cheese everywhere. So we're going to use this amazing thermo server that we have. So your thermal server is just going to sit on the top of our Thermomix here. Now this is your gift with purchase that is available until midnight tonight, those of you that don't yet have a Thermomix. A thermo server is an insulated bowl that will keep your food at the temperature it goes in at for up to 2 hours. So really, really handy when you're making different things with your Thermomix, and you'll see it, how it works in a moment. So we've got some cherry tomatoes cut up. I didn't do 200 grams because my kids don't eat them. It's just Dean and I, so I did a little bit less. Now it wants 20 grams of lime juice. I'm just cheating and using some prepackaged one. For something like this, that's fine. Add into bowl 4 sprigs of fresh coriander, leaves only. Now, I am a very much hater of coriander. I'd love to know if you love or hate coriander because I know it's one or the other. So I'm going to skip that. It also wants a long red chili, and I am a sook. I don't eat chili, so I'm also going to skip that. And we're going to pop that one to the side, and we don't need to chop that because that is just chopping our chili, which I did not put in there. Now we're going to go 30 grams of olive oil. I'm just going to go slightly less because I do find some of these recipes have a little bit more oil than what I would normally cook with. So remember, again, it is guided, not set in stone. 170 grams of red onion cut into wedges. I'm a little bit short. I'm 35 grams short, but I wouldn't cut up another onion just for 30 grams. So I am just going a little bit less. And then I've got my capsicum, red capsicum going in. And then it wants 180 grams of yellow capsicum. And we'll pop our lid on. The bowl's looking nice and full there with those beautiful veggies. And then we have 8 minutes on our timer and our maximum temperature, and we are heading into our high heat mode. So I know a few of you that have a Thermomix said you do use your high heat mode, which is fabulous. So our high heat mode is really, really cool thing to have in your TM6. So it goes 40 degrees hotter than the older model Thermomixes, and it actually mimics your fry pan. So you may not be able to hear because I have AirPods in, but what it does is the blades stop moving and let it get really, really hot, and then it sautés just like you would on the fry pan, and then it stirs just like you would if you were standing in the kitchen. So for those of you that said saving time was really important to you, this is a really great way to be saving time, because while that sautés for 8 minutes, I could go and hang out with my kids, I could clean up, hang out some washing, or I could sit on the couch and drink a glass of wine. Whatever it is that you want to be doing that isn't standing and stirring at the stove. It's one of the great things about your Thermomix. So it gets really hot and it starts to sizzle and crackle and almost like pop. And it is doing that along for you. And it's a bit of a bit of a mesmerizing sound that comes out of it, and the smell is beautiful as well. Now I'm just going to grab our dough. Just made a bit of a mess around me, which I am very good at doing. I'm just going to grab our dough out, just making a little bit of room. I've got the world's biggest kitchen and I managed to fill it very quickly. Back over here we go. Now our tortillas have rested nicely. So you can see there that it has puffed up, risen just a little bit. Now there's no yeast in our flour tortillas. It just has that little bit of baking powder, but it does get that little bit of fluff going on it and a little bit light. Now this is a dough cutter. I know it's not. It's called a bowl scraper from the mix shop. They are $3. I definitely recommend you treating yourself next time you do a mix shop order. They're really handy for cutting dough. We want to make sure that when we use the Thermomat, our silicone fiberglass mat, that we don't want to put a hole in it with a knife because it does have fibers inside. So we do need to pop it in the bin if it gets a hole in it. So you either want to use your spatula, perfect for cutting dough, or your bowl scraper here. Now, it did say to cut it into 16. I like to do about 14. I find that works really well for me. So cut your dough in half again, in half again, and then again. I think I've gone too many. I should have just gone thirds. My maths isn't great. So into our thirds. And then half. Now you can make however many you like out of this. You want to make them quite big. Go into more less portions. You're going to make them quite big. You want them smaller, then just go the other way. So the great thing that I love about our bread mat, our Thermomat. Now, our Thermomats are available as a host reward. Again, if you are interested in hosting a cooking experience, please chat to your consultant. So we have the measurements on here. So we've got 12, 20, 28 centimeters. So you can work out how big that you want to make something, and it helps you get that really great size going. So I've got my fry pan preheating. There's no oil needed. Just pushed it down a little bit. And I'm just going to grab my rolling pin. My French rolling pin from the mix shop. I do love this rolling pin. And we're just going to roll it out. Now, please don't judge me. I'm not very good at getting these round. If you've ever seen me cook before, you'd know my food's not very pretty. But I figure if it's not round, they look a little bit more authentic. You know, these are homemade, not store-bought. They don't need to be perfect. So just keep rolling. You want them quite thin. If you do them too thick, they're not going to cook properly. They're not going to taste as good. So you essentially want them to be see-through. You want to be able to see the lines on your Thermomat. There we go, round, round, round. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to pick that one up really carefully, how stretchy that is, and then into our hot fry pan. You can see my great setup there, guys, really technical with my washing basket. So you want about a medium heat. Now, it's kind of like pancakes. Your first one never comes out perfect, and that's okay. While we're getting our temperature right, you will start to see some bubbles form. And while that's going, I'm just going to roll out another one. You guys can watch for those beautiful bubbles as they form for me. The longest part of this recipe is the rolling. So while one's cooking in the pan, I like to roll my next one. So I've always got another one ready. If you do have two fry pans, you can run two fry pans at the same time. It does make it a little bit quicker again. But whatever works for you. For those of you that have a Thermomix, have you made tortillas before? Wraps? Anything like that? And for those of you that don't yet have a Thermomix, if you did have a thermo on your bench, is this something that you think you'd like to do? This is another great way to save money. If you're looking at about $2.50 for about 14 wraps versus you pay about $5, $6 for 8 in the supermarket. All right, so we're getting some bubbles forming here. Like I said, our first one's never our best. But when you start to see some of those bubbles form, you want to think about giving it a little flip. You see that bubble happening over here. Flip it over. So the first one, it always goes a little bit harder. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's because you haven't got your temp quite right. Now that is nearly done. Then I'm going to whip out my round thermo server. Now, I love having multiple thermo servers in my kitchen. So I'm going to put that in to my thermo server. And that's going to kind of sweat it. It's going to help it to go soft, to stay soft. And also to stay warm. Or if you don't have a thermo server, you want to pop them on a plate with a tea towel over them. So that's going to help to sweat them a little bit, which is going to make them really soft too. So into the fry pan we go. This recipe is so versatile. You can use this for roti, into your wraps. My kids love these so much. Whenever we eat these, I make the full batch and we eat them with our dinner, and then the kids have them for dessert with jam on them or cinnamon or something while they're still warm. And it's a really nice little dessert because they are that yummy. So you can see this one's worked really well with our heat. We've got those big, beautiful bubbles forming. Flip her over. Just a few more seconds there. Meza says she's never made them, but finds them a lot. I use them for lunches, breakfast, and Mexican lasagna. Mez, you're going to have to try making them and let us know how you go, because it is a huge money saver, and I promise you they taste way better. I'm just going to turn that off. There's great bubbles and some browning forming in there and into that thermo server to stay warm and soft. How easy was that, guys? That is literally your flour tortillas or your wraps. Is that something that you think you would do if you have a Thermomix, or when you get yourself a Thermomix, if you had a Thermomix? Pop it in the chat and let us know. Now we've done 8 minutes of cooking there, and you can see those capsicums still have that really beautiful color to them. They are going to be a little bit crunchy, but have just been sauteed off really nicely. And best of all, I did not have to stand there stirring. So it wants me to transfer into the bowl with cherry tomatoes, which is our thermo server, and then cover to keep warm. So this is really handy thing about the thermo server. Will keep your dishes warm in between. You can see our onions started to get a little bit of browning happening on them, a little bit of caramelization going on. In there with our tomatoes and our lime. Pop that lid on. And they are going to stay warm. Now, of course, I can't find the lid to that one. All right. Then we're going to put a teaspoon of onion powder. I only have onion granules. Again, guided cooking, not set in stone, so that is totally fine. Teaspoon of onion. 2.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. 2 1/4, sorry. As I said, I'm not much of a measurer. I'm a throw it in kind of girl. 2 1/4 teaspoons of ground coriander. Now, I did say I don't like coriander before, but I don't mind dried ground coriander. I just don't like fresh. 2 1/4 teaspoons of paprika. It does say smoked, but I'm just using regular. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're making our fajita seasoning here. So this would be something that you might be buying at the supermarket, like your old El Paso kind of kit. always full of preservatives. So this is a really great way to do it, and it's much cheaper as well. 40 grams of olive oil. And I'm just going to do 30. Like I said, I like to do a little bit less. Then we're going to pop our lid on. That simmering basket is going to go back over the top. We've just got 1 minute on our timer there. And we're just going to cook or warm down, mix up that marinade or that seasoning that we have made. Just checking our chat. Nat says, best tortillas, I cannot buy them anymore, plus all the additives in the store-bought one. And I couldn't agree more. It's pretty wild what they put in there, that's for sure. So I'm going to pop our lava cakes into the oven. And I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. I've got quite a hot oven, so I'm just going to turn it down just slightly because my oven does get quite hot and I don't want to overdo them. Like I said, with our lava cakes, it is timing, so I am quite nervous to make these for you guys, just in case I don't get my timing right and they're not perfect, but hopefully. Got 4 seconds to go. That wants 350 grams of beef fillet steak cut into thin strips. I'm just using rump steak here. You can use any kind of cut of meat that you like. You don't need to use the most expensive ones. I've got 385 grams, so I'm slightly over, and that is totally fine. Wants us to give it a little bit of a stir, coating with that beautiful seasoning that we've made. Oh, the smell, so nice. And then lid on, splash guard on top. Let me know it's done. We've got 8 minutes on our maximum, and we're going back into that high heat mode to brown our beef there and get that cooked. All right. If you've got any questions at all, guys, pop them in the chat and let me know. Otherwise, I want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of Cookie Doo, because I personally think Cookie Doo is the most amazing platform out there. I know some of you that do have a Thermomix are probably using it, and I hope you do think the same. Pop it in the chat and let us know if you do have a thermo with Cookie Doo. What do you think of it? Is it something that you're using? And for those of you that don't yet have a Thermomix, I'm excited to show you a little bit about how it works. So we have it on the screen of our Thermomix, and we also have the app on our phone, and we can have it on the desktop on our computer or an iPad, whatever it is as well. So hello, Chelsea Mickey, what would you like to cook today? We've got our search bar here, our latest recipes. So to give you guys an idea of how often Cookie Doo is updated, when I started as a consultant 3.5 years ago, we had about 40,000 recipes. We have just ticked over the 80,000 recipe mark. So we have over 10,000 recipes in English language. And if you were to try one new recipe a day out of those over 10,000, you would be trying one new recipe a day for about 27 years, which is pretty crazy. So there is a lot of options on there. And then again, that most cooked that I said, and then some other bits and pieces. Now we've got our search bar. So I would love if somebody could pop in the chat and let me know, what is their absolute favorite dish? What is your favorite thing to eat? It could be takeaway. It could be from a restaurant. It could be something that you're making at the moment. Pop it in the chat and let me know. What do you guys love to eat? Anything Thai, Victoria has said. Okay, cool. So I'm going to pop in Thai. Now, Thai is going to be quite a broad search. And we have about 900 different things relating to Thai. So we've got Thai peanut chicken with coconut rice. And this is one of the best dishes you'll ever eat. If you do have a Thermomix, pop it on your list. And if you don't yet have a Thermomix, pop it on your list for when you do get one, because this is life-changing. We have fish curry. We have things like curry paste, massaman paste, Thai red curry, green curry, beef salad. I could just go on all day. Some beautiful fish, chicken wraps, like all those amazing things. I know that green curry is a big hit for a lot of people. So I am going to click on our green curry, and we could make our green curry paste first. You can see our recipe here, just like on the screen. Then we can add this. We can add this to our weekly planner. So Cookie Doo has a meal planner. I'm going to say I'm going to have that on Monday, and I'm going to save that one. I always made the best risotto, but the Thermo does it without me. It's pretty great, the risottos in the Thermomix, so we'll have a look at that. Risotto is the reason I bought my first Thermomix 10 years ago. I tried to make a risotto on the stove and I failed epically and I was devastated. I told someone and they said to me, why don't you buy a Thermomix? And I'd never heard of one before. So I did some Googling and the rest is history. So we have 115 different risottos on cookie dough: verde, bolognese, spinach and peas, cheese, prawn, pretty much anything you can think of. You can see that one that we had for dinner tonight, which is a favorite of mine. I've got Mexican risotto, seafood risotto. This pumpkin and bacon is a beautiful one as well. Now you can see here ratings. So you guys can rate cookie dough recipes depending on how much you like it. And then other people can see there. So this one has 4.5 out of 862 ratings, which is massive. I'm going to add that to my week. We're going to have that on Tuesday. What else do we have? Chicken curry was another one that someone popped in the chat box below. So chicken curry. So we have lots of beautiful curries on cookie dough as well. We've got a tikka masala, curry with spinach, chicken jalfrezi, tikka flatbreads. Again, I could just go on all day. There are so many beautiful curries on here. I really love that cookie dough helps me to eat different things that I wouldn't have eaten before, which is great. This tikka masala is a really popular one as well. You can see with a really great rating there. So we can add that to our week too. Now, when I click on my weekly planner, you can see those things that we're eating in our house this week. We've also got a family burger pie. We've got, I don't know how to say this, sweet Austrian rolls with custard, kung pao chicken, a traffic light salad, a rare steak cooked using our amazing sous vide function. And here is that green curry. So I'm going to add this to my shopping list. We got our pumpkin and bacon risotto, add to shopping list, and we've got our tikka masala, add to shopping list. So when I scroll back up here, I can create a shopping list going off those things that I added to my weekly planner. So it brings up my shopping list here. Now I know I've got brown sugar. I don't buy palm sugar. I just substitute that for raw sugar. I always have wine, so I don't need to buy that. Obviously don't need to buy water. So go through your list and mark off anything that you already have in the pantry. You know, your spices, you're probably going to have all your different spices after having a Thermomix for a while. So you can mark all those off. Our curry paste we would be making. And then you're left with what you need. So then we can share it, we can print it, we can copy and paste it. Now tell me guys, is anyone doing online shopping at the moment? Do we like to do Woolies online? Nat says the meal planner saves so much money and time wondering what to cook every day. Nez says I'm a big online shopper, so the cookie dough option is great. Kylie tried to search that peanut curry and it doesn't come up on my cookie dough. So I will tell you guys a bit of a trick. Head into your profile, go view profile, go into your filters, and you want to have your English filter on and your Australian filter off. Now, if you have your Australian filter on, you'll only be able to access about 3,000 recipes. If you have your no filters on, you can access over 80,000. And if you have your English filter on, you'll be able to access over 10,000. So that Thai coconut chicken dish, that is on, I think, the UK cookie dough. So you can't see that if you do have the Australian filter on. Save those filters, exit cookie dough, go back into it, and that will update for you. So I did see a few people said that they love doing online shopping in the chat, which is great. So if we click this order ingredients button, this is actually going to add all of our ingredients into our Woolies online cart. So I can click Woolies. Now it brings me over to Whisk, which is our third party that helps us do this. So you can go through and you can change anything you're not happy with. So I would prefer a jar of tomato paste over sachets. So I can click swap and I can switch to a jar of tomato paste. Much more cost effective and less packaging waste as well. Make sure you're happy with the oil you've got, your different bits and pieces, your brands, whatever it is. Make sure you're happy with everything. Like here it's given me chicken thigh fillets that are pre-packaged. I like to buy the deli ones. So I would swap to that. They've gone up $1. I did my groceries yesterday. Thigh fillets normally $12 a kilo. That's gone up. Everything else at the moment. And then when I click add to cart, I log into my Woolies online. Now it's recognized which is my local store. Oh, everything's ready at the same time, which is exciting. And there are a few things not available at my local store. I'm just going to grab these out of the oven. All right. Now, just because lava cakes need to be done in a certain time, I am just going to, I don't know what I've done to my Zoom now, though I can't see you guys. I'm just going to stop sharing. All right. So, going to, of course, I've used all my bowls, so I'm going to plate this up on a plate, which is a little bit weird, but excuse me. I'm just going to finish up our lava cake. Has anyone eaten lava cakes before? Put it in the chat, let me know if you have. This is not something I'd eaten before I made them. And I tell you what, they are delicious. So I'm just going to put our plate here. Oh, and there we go. We have a beautiful lava cake. A little bit got stuck down the bottom. You can see we've got that amazing lava coming out there and our cakey outside. How does that look? See if I can get the other one to come out as well. My husband's been loitering around waiting for this. The hardest part is always getting them out. Oh, yum. So as I said, the trick is not overcooking these, because if you overcook them, you're not going to get that great lava overflow coming out into those. So that is a brilliant little dessert, quick and easy. And oh my gosh, they taste amazing. Just gonna have a little cheeky bite. Yum. Dean, if you want to eat that, just tell Dean he can come out and eat that. So if you do have a thermo, pop them on your list and give them a try. They are delicious. If you don't and you're thinking about getting one, pop them on your list to do. I'll just finish sharing my cookie dough screen with you guys. So I did realize which is my local store. And there are a few things unavailable. So I would just find an alternative to a different brand that is available in store, just like you would do if you're normally in there. I'll go down and I'll just grab a regular cream. I'm just going to ignore these because you don't need to see me swap them all. And then we're going to continue on. We do just need to log in one more time here. And once you're logged in, and then you can see you've got all of those different things that you've just purchased in your cart. They're ready to go. Now, Nat did say in the chat, the meal planning and the shopping list does help her to save money and time, and I couldn't agree more. So you're not impulse buying, you're buying exactly what you need, which is a really great way to save money. So I don't order them. And I find that I can do a week's meal plan and a week's shop in less than an hour using my cookie dough and Woolies, which is just incredible. Then I go into my lists and I go into my past shops, and then I just scroll through and I grab, you know, my apples, my strawberries, my milk, whatever it is that I need to buy every week, and I add them into my cart as well. And then I have done my shopping, making sure I've got everything. And then you get home from work, turn the thermo on, and it says today is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we are eating this. And you know you've got everything in the fridge because you've done your cookie dough and your Woolies. Does anyone have any questions about that? Or tell me what you think. Do you think that's something that you'd like to be using if you're not currently? Put it in the chat and let me know. Now our fajitas have cooked. We are all finished. High heat mode for the win. The meat is cooked perfectly, and I really wish you guys could smell what is happening in my house here. It smells absolutely beautiful. There is that meat perfectly cooked. No hands whatsoever. You can see a little bit of black happening on the bottom of my bowl. Just there. That's really normal. Don't stress about that. That does come off with a little bit of a scrub, or you can use that awesome self-clean mode in the thermo as well. All right, give that a mix around. How are we looking, guys? We get out one of our tortillas. And you can see how soft they are. Look, we can totally fold those without them breaking. These are just beautiful. Keeping them in our thermo server has made them nice and soft too, but they are a beautiful recipe. Now, it does say to use, put some lettuce in. I don't like lettuce in fajitas, so I'm going to skip the lettuce. I'm going to do a bit of meat. Those beautiful veggies. Got our tomato, capsicum, onion. And you can add some of your grated cheese, a little bit of sour cream, the coriander if you did like that. And there we go. We have just made beef fajitas, flour tortillas, and our beautiful lava cakes, which have now been eaten by my husband, so I can't show you this again. In less than an hour, we have made those 3 things. How does that look, guys? What do you think? Is that something that you'd like to make? Pop it in the chat and let me know. We do just have a couple of last things to say, and then we are all done. Back to my trusty flip chart. So just a couple of things that I'd like to tell you guys. So Cookie Do, we do have our 30-day free trial of Cookie Do, www.cookidoo.com.au. And you guys, if you don't yet have a Thermomix or Cookie Do, you can sign up now for a free 30-day trial. You then can get 6 months. You then will get 6 months subscription when you purchase your TM6. So 7 months to try it out and make sure you love it. And then it is $69 a year after that. So for those of you that invited friends along tonight, thank you. Please get in contact with your consultant because you will be entitled to one of our fabulous host rewards. You can get your hands on a thermo server, our bread mats. We do have our blade cover peeler and a couple of other fun bits and pieces. Now, you are all welcome to host your own in-person or virtual cooking experience with your consultant. Please just reach out and let them know because they would love to do that with you. You are welcome to have us back as many times as you like. We love coming around and meeting your friends and cooking with you guys. For those of you that don't yet have a Thermomix, if you do choose to buy a Thermomix off myself or somebody in our team, we do like you to know that we really do come with your purchase. We are here to support you every step of the way. We really want to make sure that you love your Thermomix as much as we love ours. So as I said, we have our cooking experiences. When you purchase your Thermomix, you will get a setup with your consultant over FaceTime, unbox it all, set it up, and make sure you really feel comfortable and confident and know what you're doing. Then our team does run virtual cooking classes. We run virtual demos and cooking classes once a fortnight. Our cooking classes are a little bit different. There's normally a few of us on doing some different things, and they're just a great place to come along for free and learn some new things about your Thermomix. And then as an ongoing, your consultant is there for you every step of the way. If you have questions, queries, anything you're not sure about, you just reach out and you let them know, and they will always help you out. Now, thinking back to the start of the night, I asked you what was most important to you when it came to food and cooking in general, and we said all of the above. A couple of people, we said healthy, we said fast, and we said saving money were our top ones. Now that you've seen the Thermomix in action, do you think that it could tick some of those boxes, or is it currently ticking some of those boxes for you at home in your house already? Pop it in the chat and let us know. So back to our price page, $2359 for a TM6. It does include all those great accessories that you've seen here today. Now, please remember that we do have our 2 different gift with purchases. We have our thermo server, so that oval thermo server that you saw me using for our heaters. You can score one of those absolutely free if you do purchase your Thermomix before midnight tonight. Or you will have the option to choose between the thermo server or a $75 gift card for the mix shop. And then from tomorrow for the next month, it will be a $75 mix shop voucher as well. That's just a thank you for purchasing a Thermomix at the moment. Now, we do have those great different ways to get a Thermomix on your bench if that is what you choose to do. And again, my favorite is that you can do what we do and you can come along and join our team. You can earn a Thermomix, you can earn a second Thermomix, or maybe you want to come along and start your new business and earn some commission, because that is definitely an option as well. If you would like any more information about that, please let us know, because we would love to chat. We also have our interest-free finance, which is $24.56 a week, or about $3.50 a day, which is less than a cup of takeaway coffee. Now, our average Thermomix family is expected to save around $40 to $60 a week off their grocery bill just by making a few simple changes. We've talked quite a lot tonight about how much money you can save in a Thermomix, and I'm sure those of you that already have one are realizing how much money you are saving or can be saving just by making a few simple swaps. So for us in our household, yogurt is our biggest one. We went from spending $30 a week on yogurt to about $4 a week by making it in our Thermomix, which is a massive money saver. So my finance on my Thermomix was covered in my yogurt saving alone, which is great. We do have our mix shop, which is thermomix.com.au/shop, and that's where you can get lots of fun accessories from. You do get everything you need to get you going on your journey with your purchase. We sell things like bread tins, dumpling molds, ice cream containers, like anything that you can think of, pretty much we have on there. So you can jump on and have a little look as well. And as I mentioned earlier, for those of you that have a cooking experience after you purchase your TM6, you can get a 20% discount code to the mix shop. So please chat to your consultant about having another cooking experience and getting one for yourself as well. Mez has just said, for those of you who've undecided, I love mine so much. I bought my daughter-in-law and son one. They're a busy family of 4. You are a lovely mother, Mez, and I would like you to adopt me, if that's okay. Now that is me done for tonight. If you have any questions at all, please pop them in the chat and let us know. Please reach out to myself or your consultant, because we would love to answer them. Thank you so much for coming along to join us tonight. Like I said, in an hour, we made those beautiful caramel lava cakes, the fresh tortillas, and our beef fajitas as well. So it is pretty crazy that you can whip up a beautiful dinner in such a short amount of time with minimal hands-on as well. So again, if you do have any questions, please let us know. Thank you so much for coming along tonight, and I will see you all soon.